because I touched the ceiling and loose rock fell. And dug, and blasted some of them, 12 tunnels. This will be the first and last time that I come to this tunnel. A really shoddy mine shaft. Welcome everyone to Weekend Escapades. We have found our way back to Hurricane, Utah. In the last video we shared with you, of course, Three Falls area. And that location had some, I guess, waterways in it. And we wanted to find out more information about that, and we have found the location that shares that. So what we're going to share with you today is the history of the birth of Hurricane, Utah, 1893 to 1904. This monument is near the spot where a celebration took place on August 6, 1904, after nearly 11 years of basically difficult work on the canal. Water was ready for diversion onto the land. 5 or 6 wagon loads of people came from little towns nearby, and the crowd was very happy. They let out a big shout as the water gushed down the hill. Names of the new city to be were discussed and voted upon. We thank God for these pioneers of our valley. We're going to share with you the story of how this canal was built and what its purpose was and how important it was for the pioneers that settled in Hurricane. Right in front of us are the names of the builders of the Hurricane Canal. And it's pronounced Hurricane, not Hurricane. And this is the historic Hurricane Canal. We see here John Steele, a man of vision, and James Jepson Jr., the first Canal Company president. The canal goes for about 7 miles, and there's a tunnel, a couple of tunnels. I think there's a total of 11 tunnels, maybe 12 that existed, and we're gonna hike into one now. I think it's about a mile or so away from here. I think this is one of the pieces of machinery that would dig. Look at this chain. If anybody knows what that is, let me know. It looks like it was definitely horse-drawn. Metal wheels. Lots of gearing. Like a funnel coming out the back. I don't know what that is. Maybe that was for farming, but I would think it was used here to dig through the ditch. Something there. Maybe that was farming equipment. Look at all that. Imagine being the person that had to draw that out and build that and make it work. Man, that is... See, that's something to me. Look, there's another chain down there. I wouldn't even know how to start building something like that. Now again, one of the reasons we're here today, oh, there's the canal right there behind us and in front of us. Start doing some research and find out about all the hard labor and what this canal was all about, the water, and how important it was. So forgotten history is what this is of Hurricane, Utah. And just, of course, U.S. history, because so much labor involved in doing these things back then. They couldn't even hardly get horses up there. It was just all manpower. And this is kind of how it works. Trail. I'm gonna go right across the road. You wouldn't even know there was a trail here without that arrow. We looked this location up on Google Earth. And if you look at it on Google Earth, you look up Hurricane, Utah, you'll see this canal and where it comes from, the Virgin River. The Virgin River coming out up there where that lava rock kind of ends on that edge. And it goes up through the desert a little ways, and they brought the water all the way from there. I think it was from a location called the Narrows. And there was a dam up there. And then they had all the water running all the way through this. So pretty primitive way of getting the water down, I guess, irrigation style. But that's how they did it. This is the holding tank. This has been here for some time. So they had a holding tank. That's pretty big. And they would use this as holding for water here, certain parts of the town. You see, we're not really that rural. It used to be, but now it's all residential and a highway going through there, going to Zion. But this right here was the holding tank where the water would dump in. Let's see if I can get down in the canal. Big piece of cement here. So that makes me think that this was like a footing. Actually, there's a hole right there, and that probably, the water ran out through that hole from this canal. See, I'm in it now. The water ran through here, and it would fill that holding tank, so they had good holding water in this area. So just part of the unique construction. Now, a lot of this was modernized from the time it was built. So they still used it, and it still had water flowing through it for, I think it was 1980. They still had water flowing. That's why a lot of it's covered in cement, because it was, they more like modernized it, and that's what happened. So kind of in the bottom of it, you can see where this would still be used. And they used it for irrigation until they went to a pumping system in like the 1980s. Again, it modernized it. So it really wasn't that long ago that this was actually used, being that if it was used up till the 1980s, but we were told that, you know, kids and their families used to come over here and float, like inner tube, and float down this like a creek. So it'd be full of water, and you see this would be a good time, like a lazy river. A lot of fun. I think we're coming up on a bridge that held pipe, and I think we can cross that bridge and go into the tunnel. In front of us, there's a tunnel right over there that comes out. All right, so we're getting closer to that old steel bridge. And look at these cliffs. This part of Utah, southern Utah and Hurricane, really, like, I don't know. The rock is just all different, like lava rock, very volatile, a lot of it collapsing. But that right over there is where the tunnel came out. Again, I don't know if we can get all the way through the tunnel. And looking at it, it looks like there was razor wire or something there. It looks like it's been moved. Maybe we can get up there and go on the other side of the trail. But I was told it's very, very loose and falling down. It might be dangerous. The bridge looks pretty old. A little nervous. I don't like heights. I'm a little nervous about going across it. I'm sure a lot of people do it, but my fear of heights is no help to that at all. Makes me want to run across it instead of like walk slow. Look how they built this up. So this is the rock, the lava rock, all hand placed. And then they just threw like, not even cement, just this like mud, clay stuff to keep that flowing. But this is where the water flowed into this tunnel across the way. Oh man. I guess it's solid. Oh, geez. I'm going. That's falling through right there. It makes me nervous. And now, we gotta go in there. This is kind of fun and scary. You can see how that was built up. They literally just stacked stone. No cement or anything. Loose, stacked stone holding this bridge. Like made out of old railroad iron or something up here. It's seen better days, but that's been there for years. We're gonna go in a ways in this tunnel. I don't have a flashlight with me. I don't know why I didn't bring it this time. I had it the other day. This goes back quite a ways. I understand there was a collapse in here around this corner. But this was literally all hand dug. Really cool in here too. I almost think I see light coming through at the other end. I'm gonna go and turn this corner. Okay, I'm getting kind of nervous, but there is a, oh, the tunnel goes through all the way to the other side. Oh my gosh. Should we? We got to. I'm nervous, but I'm gonna do it. Literally under a mountain of lava rock. A little scary. Just a little. For me. Others, probably not. That's a little hole to get through. Yeah, I'm not sure we're supposed to be up here. It's open, but they didn't want you going in here at one point. It looks like somebody blew the fence down there over here to be able to walk the canal. So we came through that mountain right there See that little tunnel? This canal looks bigger on this side than the other. But this, I know this is eroding really bad. I don't want to go much further because I know a big part of this is fallen. A lot of the lava rock falls down here. You can see it. Oh, a lot of loose stuff. Look at the size of some of these boulders that have fallen down here. Let's just go around the corner, see what's up here. This looks like a spot where they had water headed down. Yeah, so this is one of the locations where they would let water in and out.
The water would be in there.
And the water would go from here and be diverted down. And that canal is going to continue to go all the way around the mountain to the Virgin River. And they got the water from the Virgin River to run this direction. We're going to head back to the other side and share that with you. Okay, we're going to head back through this small opening. Back through. Here we go. Okay. We crawled back through and we're going. Yeah, I touched the ceiling. I don't think it's real smart to be in here because I touched the ceiling and loose rock fell. This will be the first and last time that I come to this tunnel. The other one the other day felt much safer. This is like a really shoddy mine shaft, but exhilarating at the same time. I see daylight. Okay, back across the metal bridge and the loud popping noise they made last time. Again, a little spooky. All right, so we're going to conclude on this trail. You can see that big, what is it, cistern or a big water holding area there. That tunnel kind of scared me a little bit and freaked me out. It's going to fall in on me. That thing's been there since 1800s and hand dug, no reinforcement, and a lot of loose lava rock. So that concludes this section. We're going to head on to the next section, which is where we were the other day, again at Three Falls, and show you that there's a hike over there that's right along the canal as well. See what we can find on that side of the canal, and also that tunnel, and see how far it went past that tunnel. Again, this is interesting pioneer history. All of this done so settlers could have water. The reason that they built it, how they had the people build this, is that on completion that they were promised 20 acres of farmland in Hurricane. So they got them to do the work. I think it was like $2 or something a day for the work. Plus, on completion, they received 20 acres of farmland. Pretty good incentive back then. Okay, so we're back where we were the other day, and we're gonna follow this tunnel and walk along this trail, get to the other side of the tunnel, go back through the tunnel and follow the flow of water.
So as we work our way through this tunnel, it was said that as early as 1865, the surveyors said that this was not possible, that it couldn't be done. But as years went on, in 1893, a group of the settlers from the town further up the Virgin River, well, they saw large tracts of land that could be farmed with water, if the water could be supplied. So they banded together and formed the Hurricane Canal Company. Canal workers literally paid for the canal with their work and with the promise of the 20 acres. And this is what they created. This is a man-made canal, simply surveyed to flow from up where the Virgin River comes through the desert to the lowlands where they could farm. Now I'm going to correct myself from earlier. This canal became obsolete in the late 1980s and early 1990s when a pressurized irrigation system was installed in town, but its legacy will never be forgotten.
So after closer observation, you can see the level spot over there. That's the canal. That canal must have ran, and the pipe was here and came across. The pipe's on the ground. But you can see right over here, we're going to go get closer where we were yesterday, and we hiked. That went across, and the canal comes, and it all gets lower and very gradual. comes through here when they've built it up. There used to be a trestle over there. We're going to go explore that. But this right here is where the water came through and went that direction. Now the relationship to this pipe and where it went is beyond me. Unless the water ran out of that pipe for irrigation, they went through this low ground right here. Okay, so this makes sense. Here's the canal again. It just disappeared right over here. So one time they capped this canal and went across with that pipe. But the canal ran here originally. You can see right here. Oh man, I don't know if I'm going to step on that. That's eroded pretty bad. But that's where the canal went. And there must have been a trestle. They said there was quite a few wood trestles. That must have been a wood trestle across there. Like that metal one we were on, they replaced them with metal eventually. Right across there. And we'll go down below and look up at it. But this is all man-made here and cement and built up for that trestle that went across. There's a closer look at how that was built. See how that's washed away? Water would travel through there. Again, across here. And Lisa's standing on what fell. Big pile of cement that fell off of this. Look at, there's just a cement bottom that's all that's left. It's just cradled. It's about 20 feet in the air where that trestle was. See, it's all built up with cement. And this is where we were the other day with all those caves that Lisa went in. And then that trestle went right across here. Right there and connected. And that water ran down to that cave you can see in the distance. Right over there. Okay, so there's where the pipe ended up going across. Instead of running through here, straight from here, down and around, that's where they capped it off and let the water run across a pipe where all those people are over there. Now the water used to run facing me, so towards me from that direction in this canal. I think it's 8 feet wide, 4 feet deep the whole way. Now remember, this canal originally was stone and just packed with stone and mud. And then it was later that they made it all cement. So literally 24/7, they used to have people patrol this to patch it to keep that water flowing. Okay, so quick review. So the pioneers built and dug, and blasted, some of them, 12 tunnels. And they had also 6 wooden flumes that were eventually replaced with all metal flumes. And one of the metal flumes was what we were walking on earlier. And right here is one of the water gates. So the water gates are still here. Now, these were probably a newer add when they did the cement. But that's one of the water gates here. Now there's one there. And there was one a little bit further down. So there's quite a few of those that allowed them to open those water gates up and be able to get that water to those farms. Looks like it picks up again here, trying to recreate it in this area where this next cistern is. And it's about 100 yards, 200 yards ahead of me. Oh yeah, and I can see the cement starting again right up there. So the canal being here, there's another one of the cisterns. Right over here, it looks like they kind of rebuilt this one a little bit and recreated it for history. That's it. Right here they've blocked it off, but this was another one of the irrigation locations where you could open up a valve, see the threaded pipe and the framework. Would have ran right down there. Now it's somebody's carport. This area of the canal does not have any cement, and this is kind of a rudimentary canal, but this is the way it was originally. I mean, back in the day, and you can see that's why if this would erode if there was too much water pressure, and they literally got leaks all the time, so they had to come up here and patch this with stone and mud and do whatever they could to stop that water from leaking out so it could get to the locations that needed it. So this part of it here gets a little rougher, a lot of sagebrush, and it was obviously like a landslide here because there's a good foot or two of dirt in here.
Little lizard.
Saying hello right there. He's like, welcome to the canal. There he is. Well, that's going to do it for today. We're here at the Hurricane Canal. Shared with you as much history as we could about this, and as many of the locations that we could get to, you know, with a car without having to go way out in the desert and find those other tunnels. But two of the most, I guess, important tunnels are right here around town. Again, without going out in the desert. The long canal behind me. And until the next adventure, goodbye from Weekend Escapades. We'll see you in the next one. Look at that. The 87 Ditch Gang. They must have been here in 87.